Hello everyone, my name is GreenLenux and today I'm gonna teach you how to make your own skin for MX bikes. So first we're gonna need to download some files. Let's pretend we want to make a skin, for example, for the Kawasaki bikes, okay, the 250 and the 450. So you'll go to the forum, every links that I go will be in the description. So you go to the forum of MX Bikes, the official one, and you go to the bikes section, okay? So you click on it, and you go to OEM 2020, additional downloads, patches, and templates, not the OEM pack itself. So you go on it, and now we need to find the PSD for the bike that we want to play on. So we'll need to download the Kawasaki PSD, so this one. So we click on KXIF template. We're gonna download the new template, so we can save it anywhere we want. So I'm just gonna save it on the desktop for now. So let's save it. All right, and we need to download a software that allows us to pack all the textures into one big file. So we need to go to download on the mxbikes.com website, and we need to download painted 1.4, so painted.zip. Also, we will download the bikes and rider templates because some parts are super important to edit our bike, like for example the wheels. So click on template and same, you just download it. So now that we have everything, let's open the file. So let's open KXF zip. So inside we'll find the PSD, that's the one we're gonna use. And there is another file called KXF_N, which is the normal map. We'll see it later. So first, let's take the KXF PSD and put it on the desktop. All right. So for now, that's everything we need to make the base skin. So let's open the file, shall we? So when you open the PSD, you'll find the normal map shown, so that's okay. We're just gonna hide it because for now we don't need to edit this particular texture. So now we've got everything we want. So we've got our texture of the bike and some gray white stuff. That's actually the cutout, which will help us to know how to design our bike, but you can draw anywhere you want. So for example, in this particular PSD, they have an ambient occlusion folder which has the shadows basically, so the bike looks good in game. Okay, so we do not touch that at all. So what I personally do is I click on it and I lock it, so I do not move it by accident or anything. Then we have the paint folder, so that's where we're supposed to paint, but sometimes you will want to use it, but sometimes no, and I'll explain why. And then we have the base skin. So for example, there it's just the stickers that are applied to the skin. And then finally the base color, so that's the whole texture itself. All right. Okay, so I will not teach you how to use Photoshop exactly, like I'm just gonna show you how to export the texture. I'm just gonna give you some tips, like for example, where to put stuff in the PSD. So for example, everything that you will add to your bike needs to be below the ambient occlusion folder, because if you put it on top, you will create a texture which has no shadows and it's not realistic at all. Like for example, if I make a layer on top of the ambient occlusion, and let's hide this. For example, if I draw in magenta, you see that I draw on top of the shadow. All right, but if I put it below, so for example here, boom, it's below the shadow, and it's very important. For example, let's put it back I want to paint on my shroud, okay? So do like this, you see that the pink is the same, okay? But if I put it below, it's a bit more different because the shadow erases the pink, all right? So that's very important to draw below the ambient occlusion, okay? So don't never, never, ever touch it or hide it, all right? Okay, now, like I said, there is a difference between painting like this and painting into this type of folder, because as you can see, there is an alpha mask, okay? So if I put my pink, which goes, for example, here, in this folder, the pink is not going to go over the this particular, well, place, you know, like for example, like this, it seems like it's super well made, but if I do this, it's pink all over the place. And that's something very important, because if you want to make, for example, stickers, all right, you'll want to put this layer here, because, well, the stickers do not go below the visible surface, you know, like that's the side of the plastic, not the front, okay? But if you want, for example, to have a pink sticker, for example, and let's make, for example, a blue plastic, because why not? So we have all blue. So let's create a new layer. Let's paint in blue, all right? So it's gonna erase the pink, but we don't care. And now I'm just going to put it below, well, not in this folder, all right? So just like this, and voila, my plastic is now blue. So yeah, the seat is also blue, so that's up to you to draw like in a good way, you know. But I'm not teaching you that. I'm just teaching you how to put stuff in your PSD. Okay. Something that can be useful is, for example, so this is the right side of the bike, okay? There is the rear fender, the shrouds, the front fender, okay? So if you want to design the left side, it can be difficult because it's upside down. So the easiest way to draw like this is to use this tool in Photoshop. So it's below the hand tool, all right? And with this, if I click on Shift on my keyboard, and I start to rotate it, you'll see that my picture is upside down. So I can now place elements more easily than before. But you have to know that, for example, if I create a new layer in this, so for the sticker, okay? So I'm gonna draw this, all right? If, no, wait, I'm gonna, so you can see. All right, so if I want to move it to the top, okay, so there, with my arrows, if I go up, it will go down, because the picture is, well, visibly upside down, but in reality, it's still the same way. So if I go up, I'll go down. If I go down, I'll go up. If I go left, I go right. Well, yeah, you can see it. And if I go right, I'll go left. Okay, so that's something that you need to know. And to reset everything, you just click on it and click reset the view. I guess that's how it's called. All right. So yeah, that's really all you need to know, because it's up to you how to customize your bike. So you know how to change basically the color of the plastic. You know what's the difference between draw under and below the. That's the same thing. You need to you know the difference between drawing on top or below the ambient occlusion folder. All right. So let's say our skin is done, all right? So we'll now need to export it, okay? So in Photoshop, the easiest way is to go to File, Save As, here. So you can just say Ctrl-Maj-S, all right? And we will name our file KXF, because every OEM PSD is the name of the file that you need to export. So we'll not change the KXF, but will use the TGA format. Okay, that's what the game reads. So now that we've done this, we go with sorry, you click on save. And now this is very important, okay? So this is the base texture. So we're gonna use 24 bits per pixel because 32 is actually something different that use the alpha channel. The alpha channel is used for the normal map, okay? So for the base texture, we don't need it, all right? So let's press OK, and boom, our file is exported. So if we go back to the desktop, we have our kxf.tga, fantastic. So if you remember correctly, there were a kxf underscore normal n, sorry, so that's the normal map, all right? So if you do not need to edit it, okay, do not include it in your final product, okay? So for now, we don't need to edit it because I honestly don't know enough about this. So let's just move on, okay? So I'll now teach you how to import the texture into the game. So now that we have our KXF TGA texture, we need to import it into the game. So for that, we'll need to use Painted. So Painted is a software made specifically for the game. So let's open the folder and let's open painted.exe. So the software works like this. We have three buttons. We have paint read, directional read, and reload. So if we want to create a paint, we need to use the direct read. Okay, so I click on it. And I now need to choose the folder where all my TGAs are. So for now, we'll just have the KXF TGA on the desktop. So if I click OK, boom, we found our KXF folder. Fantastic. So we will now need to give it a name. So this name is going to be the name that you'll see in-game, in the menu. So let's call it my awesome, because it's very cool, skin. All right. So now we can just pack the paint. So let's click on pack, and we will now need to go to the mod folder. So it depends, but the mod folder should be into your documents, the P-Buzzer folder, MX bikes, modes, and bikes. Okay. So I've only installed the KXF for this video, but of course you're gonna have all the bikes available in your mod folder, so you need to choose the right bike. So we're just gonna need to use the KXF 450 for this video. So let's go to the bike and paint. Okay, now we need to give it a name. So these two names are different because this name is very important for the user and this name is very important to the game. Okay, so you should name it something very short, okay? Because if you use too many characters, the game is not able to read it. And if you, for example, visit it online and other people want to use it, they will use it. But online, they will not be able to see other people using it, which is sad, of course. So, for example, we will just name it MAS. My awesome skin. We don't care. That's only for the game, all right? So that's it. We just need to click save. And now the software is working. And so if I click on it, it's not responding. And okay, it's done because we only have one TGA, so it's going super fast. So let's open the game, shall we? All right, so we have our game loaded. Let's go to bike and let's choose our bike. So MX1 OEM, and let's choose the 450. Yeah, we only have this bike. So in the paint, we should see my awesome skin, which is fantastic. So let's click on it and let's see our work. Fantastic, we have our nice looking skin. Okay, so it works, fantastic. But you can see something odd, I guess. There is those little orange screw, okay, that are not present into the PSD. It is normal. It is an external texture, another TGA that will need to change. All right. So, for example, my game is loaded and I've already have the PNG file into the mod folder. I do not need to restart the game each time I want to see the skin change, okay? So for example, I'll show you. I use Photoshop, here we go. For example, let's make this side, I don't know, red, okay, so you can see the difference. So there we go, I do this, okay, it's awesome, that's the best skin ever made, alright. So Control S Shift, let's save it as a TGA, alright. Let's say save, yes, and 24 bits, perfect. We'll need to go back to Painted, and as you can see, the skin is sent this new one. So we need to press Reload, okay, and if we click again on the KXF, it's reloaded, it's the same skin. So do not change the name, alright, it's very important to keep the same name. Just hit back and override the older file. So let's save, yes, let's wait for the software to create the PNG file. Okay, it's done, and when we go back to the game, it's the same skin. Ah, shame, not really. We need to reload the game too, so let's take any other skin, alright, so for example the stock one, and let's go back to my awesome skin. Boom! Our skin is now updated, which is fantastic. No need to restart the game. You just need to start the game after you've created once the PNG file, okay? Perfect. So now we will learn how to use different and other TGA to customize your bike. Okay, so the game is about to read multiple TGA into one PNG, which is great. So let's open the templates.zip that we downloaded earlier, okay? So we have a bunch of files inside, and the one that we'll need to use is the wheels.psd, okay? And the chain PSD, all right? You can also use, for example, the stand, which is, well, the stand, but I'm not using a stock one for this video, so it will not work, but it works exactly the same as I'm going to show you, okay? So we can close that. So now we've got our wheels and chain PSD. So let's open the wheels, for example, and there we go. So how does this work? So we've got the UV texture, which is showing what the game exactly reads, all right? So, but we don't need it, so let's not use it, all right? There is the shading, which is, like I said, super important because that's what makes the bikes look real, okay? And then we have all the stuff, so the spindle, wrist sprocket, spokes, 2 rims, and hubs, all right? So, like, for example, I want my rims to be green because it's Kawasaki. That's maybe too bright, okay? Okay, let's try this one. So I copy the value. I've double clicked on it to open this dialog box. And the spokes, let's put it green too. Fantastic. And also, you know what, we're gonna make the hubs green too. Perfect. So just like every other skin, it's a texture, not a normal map. So Control S, TGA, and 24 bits. Okay, so let's just save this PSD, so if we want to edit later, we will not have to do it again. Okay, so let's close it for now. And let's, for example, edit the chain texture. So for now, it's orange. So let's make it gray, because gray is so cool. So same thing, Control S, Shift, TGA. We don't change the name. I forgot to say it, but it's like the OEM PSD. We don't change the name. Then we use chain.tga. Let it save, and 24 bits. Okay. So I did not close my game, and I did not close Painted. All right. So if I hit reload, the new TGAs that are present in the folder are shown. So we've added the wheels and the chain files into the desktop folder. So we can see that we have our gray chain and our green wheels. So I've reloaded it. Now let's hit back and override the other one. Yes, okay. So the more TGA you'll use, the more printed will take time to create the PNT, okay? So if you want to know if PNT is working or not, just move your mouse over the cross, okay? If it's red, it's either that you forgot to pack, it happens, or either it's done. If it's not moving, it's because the software is frozen. And so, you know, okay, so it seems to be done. So let's go back to the game, okay? And just like we did for just this texture, let's reload the skin. So let's take another one. And let's load it. And there we go. We have our green wheels, okay? And the gray chain, which is fantastic. So this is basically what you need to know about skin bikes, how to skin bikes, okay? Some PSDs works differently. For example, you'll need to hide some folders for if the bike is a 2-stroke or a 4-stroke. That's why I took the Kawasaki, because it's the easiest one. Some bikes need different names. For example, I don't have an example right now. But yeah, you need to find it by yourself. But basically, that's what you need to do. If you do not edit the normal map, do not include it into your PNT. It's no need to do that. Don't forget to use 24 bits for a texture, and you should be good. And then it's up to you to create a wonderful skin that you can share on mxbikesmods.com or on the forum. It's up to you. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys for another tutorial. Maybe. We don't know. See ya.